Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube guys. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome to Wise Guys Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We're going to EFAP. EFAP, for those who don't know, stands for every frame a pause. Basically, you're kind of looking at another content creator's stuff and commenting on it as you go through it, providing some insight, feedback, input, stuff like that. Let me stop looking at this. All right, so this is something I've been wanting to watch also. I thought I was going to watch it from the start, but then, they kept releasing episode after episode after episode, and I was watching all this other content at the same time, and before I knew it, a year had passed. So we're going to watch it now. All right, let's see how it goes. I've only basically just seen clips here and there, so I don't know how good or bad it is. But the clips I saw were kind of cool. And you're going to see a lot of different YouTubers you are probably familiar with, especially if you're subscribed to my channel. By the way, speaking of which, I hadn't checked this morning, but I finally hit 500 subs again. So let's hope it keeps going up. So, anywho, let's watch this. I think I'll barely have time to do this before I start work. So I got this, and I think I have a couple really short clips or trailers to watch after this if I have the time. So let's do it. Oh, whoops. Wrong screen. Ew. Looks like a national courtroom. Chambers, exit, critics court, Star Wars. They got the branding. They got the film thread logo. They got the eagle up there. Is that a bandolier? Like a Chewbacca bandolier? That's funny. I think Film Thread started doing the critics court for Star Trek already. Or they're getting ready to. So maybe they start the same time every year. Is Alan Ing the bailiff? Or
all rise?
If you never saw games from the gym last year, it might have been because of low testosterone. So, start
You may be seated.
Oh, it's a different background. He doesn't have the eagle and stuff.
Counselor Ing?
Oh, I see how it is.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're here today to read the charges against Lucasfilm Disney for the murder of the Star Wars franchise. Do you have the documents in front of you, Mr. Ing?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Excellent. Some of you out there who are watching this might look on this as something of a joke. This is not a joke. This is a jury of fans who will be assessing what Lucasfilm and Disney have done to the Star Wars franchise over the past nearly a decade. Some fans are upset. They've expressed their dissatisfaction with the handling of the Star Wars franchise. We are here finally to put this to rest. You watching now, viewers, you are the jury. You will decide. And over the next weeks, we will go over all these charges, and the prosecution and the defense will have this debate. I hope that you take this seriously. I hope you come into this with an open mind. I hope you look at all the evidence that will be presented by our prosecutors and the defense. Today, we'll be looking at all of the charges that are being filed. There are 9 charges. We will go over them all today. The trial begins 1 week from today. This is merely a reading of the charges. Mr. Ng, are you prepared to read the charges?
Yes, I am.
Okay, give me a moment here. And I just want to say also a comment to those of you. When Mr. Ng said, "All rise," I don't care if you were in your car. I don't care if you're home on your couch. I don't care if you're watching this on your iPhone. Out of respect to the court, when Mr. Ng says, "All rise," I expect you to stand. I expect everyone participating in this trial to take it very seriously. All right. I think it's time, sir. Yes.
Would you please instruct the audience to hit that like button and subscribe?
In what trial, in what courtroom does anyone hit the like button?
In this one they do.
All right. It's time to get things started. You are here. Prepare yourself for Critics Court Star Wars on Trial.
I think they're going to use an altered version of the Star Wars. Yeah. That's pretty. Oh, help me out. Oh, nice big print. I like that.
Mr. Ng, before we present the charges in this case, I would like to bring on our court sketch artist, Mr. Blackwood. Mr. Blackwood will be providing sketches of these proceedings. He will be drawing sketches and pictures that will be depicting some of the charges, some of the people involved in this case. Mr. Blackwood, if you would, perhaps give us a sample of some of what you'll be drawing for us during the proceedings. Mr. Blackwood will be muted, and if you can also follow him on. I'm told I should mention that you can follow him on Instagram. Chair. I believe those are IKEA chairs, if memory serves. And you can follow at Blackwood_PDX. There you are. So follow. You'll be able to watch Mr. Blackwood draw during the proceedings.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, it's time for us to get started. Oh, and by the way, we will be throwing up your comments, questions, and we'll be saving super chats to the end. So throw your super chats in. We're going to go through all 9 charges. We'll be discussing them briefly after. As we move on, So bear with us as we want you to absorb all these charges. Mr. Ng, you have the documents in front of you with the charges. I have the documents here. Let's look at the first. I should mention that this is case number 1138.
1138, but it says MC.
Let's take a look at charge number 1. Mr. Ng, if you would read it for me, bring up that document for me. Charge number 1.
I don't know what 1138 means. What's the significance?
Do you think this camera will cover up my friend's overpowering cologne?
Impossible. Hey, do you mind paying? All I have are nickels.
Not at all.
Oh, man.
Do you change for a nickel?
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card.
The Lord of the Rings Woobles collab is
Come
finally here.
on, man.
You can learn to crochet the Lord of the Rings characters with
You're
this
wasting
new
my
box.
time, dude.
Inside
Charge number 1 is fraudulent representation. Tell us exactly what is meant by this. If you could read charge number 1.
Yes, charge number 1. Lucasfilm is charged with
Welcome,
fraudulent
George
representation. Lucasfilm knowingly set expectations that the original trilogy cast would reunite in The Force Awakens.
Oh my gosh, it's
Fans were led to
an
believe
honor
that
to have
Han,
your
Luke, and Leia would reunite.
your
Fraudulent
company.
representation. Failure to reunite legacy characters in the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy. Disrespectful demise of Han, Luke, and Leia. Negligent and disrespectful disregard for legacy characters. The death in Han Solo, one of the worst deaths in cinematic history.
Increase the volume
Bait
to
and switch.
conversation.
I believe, Mr. Ng, your reading comprehension is off here. It said the death of Han Solo.
Did I not say
If
that?
you could be more accurate with your reading
Death
of
of Han
charges, I think it's
Solo.
and if you could zoom in for me so that we could only see charge number 1 on the screen. I want everybody to know this, because what's happening in the coming weeks, we will see people on two sides of this argument. We're going to see people for the defense and people for the prosecution. The prosecution will argue this charge, and members of the defense will fight against that charge. And you, the jury, will determine what you think of this. Mr. Ng, could you elaborate on this?
On which part?
On charge number 1. Please elaborate for the courtroom and everyone watching. Please elaborate.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we were led as fans of Star Wars that when the announcement at Star Wars Celebration that Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher would appear in the next Star Wars sequel, that we were promised not only their appearance, but that they would appear together at least in one scene. And in fact, this did not happen. In fact,
check it out.
we only saw Mark Hamill
George
the last
Lucas in our
30
presence.
seconds of the movie. Reprehensible. And the people feel like they basically the old bait and switch. We were promised something, we spent our money on the movie, and it did not come about.
I'm curious what our members of the jury think of this charge, where they stand. We will go to comments from our jury before we get to charge number 2. Jury.
Thank you so much.
So it's Aid Robertson, £4.99 says Judge Frank in the house. I assume they mean the stupid joke.
Usually there's a lot
now of Frank Gore that now I've seen going around the internet. It was a mistake by a man named Jay, also known as Drunk 3PO, who has nothing to do with this case, called me Frank on accident, and I assume some of you are making light of that. Okay. Thank you, Aid, for the £4.99 and acknowledging Drunk 3PO's mistake. I prefer to call him Jeff 3PO. Moving on. John Manalang has been a member for 9 months. Threat level 2 says, Judge Gore, I am the law. You bet. Last week's Miss Super Chat, Robert McDonald for 20. Good job. Thank you so much for that. JGR Projects for 10. In the criminal justice system, people are represented by 2 separate groups. The fandom who investigates IP crime and the pundits who prosecute the offenders. These are their
500 or higher.
David Nelson for $4.99. Here's money for the fantastic idea. All hail the 199. We've just started with charge number 1. We're just beginning, folks. New members, Hayden 75. Miranda Sinestra, also a new member. Eva Spawn for $9.99. Justice for Luke. We'll see. We'll see. Jonathan Davis for $9.99. Give us George Lucas. Crucify Kathleen Kennedy. And in Minecraft, of course. Soul123 for 50. 50. I couldn't resist. Chris Gore threw the Star Wars on trial idea around a long time ago. Love the idea, and I promised to give money if you guys did. I got to honor the deal. Love this already. Oh, and guilty as sin. Folks, let me remind members of the jury, you are to remain impartial. Next week, evidence will be presented by the prosecution and defense. Those counselors will also debate, and you will decide. I implore you to please keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Thank you, Soul123, for following through on that. I much appreciate it. Torchwood Gal became a YouTube member. Thank you for that. Floki the Mad for $1.99. Guilty. Guilty. Off with their heads. Thank you for that. Run, it's Godzilla for $9.99. 10 just for the law and disorder lightsaber sound. Well done, sirs, and well done. A surprise, but happy one to be sure. Thank you for that. Was there for the 77 film. Justice will be served, says Bushin Ryu Cat. Lord Thoth, Blackwood Insta is Blackwood PDX. Yes. How is let's see. How is Mr. Blackwood doing here? Mr. Blackwood, this is well, there you are.
Oh
there you
gosh.
are. Mr. Blackwood, thank you.
Thank
you, Mr. Blackwood. Okay. Back to our regular setup here.
Unless he already had that gun.
And for her next trick,
My golly,
it's
really?
here. Now it's there. Sorcery.
Easy. That's it. Get the hell out of here.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
Damn it, American Family Insurance.
Mr. Ng. Here we go.
Yes,
More of these. We're going to get through these quickly because I want to get to all the charges. We have 9 total charges to get through. By the way, after we're done reading these, I plan to share a Google Doc in the description of the show with all of these charges. We are looking for people to argue the defense. I have a few people lined up. Unfortunately, there are more people that would prefer to argue for the prosecution than the defense. We're looking for defenders. So there you are. All right. Let's get through these comments very quickly, folks. Very quickly. BMC CB for $19.99 I was there in 83. Hang 'em high in Minecraft. Matouine for $5. Your Grace, this is an open and shut Camtano case. Guilty. For 100 Czechoslovakia. What is that, Mr. Ng? 100 CZX. Remember, it's about family. I assume you mean the Fast and the Furious.
It's Czech Corunas.
Czech Corona. Eric Stratton for $7.77. Can Counselor Ng push pause on his TV when the Leia bikini image comes up? Mr. Ng, is that something you could possibly do?
Possibly.
All right. Jake Skywalker for $2. Call into evidence the chair in Mando season 3. It's possible. Possible that will come up. Sifax is here. Can I get a shout out from Judge Gore for my birthday? Mr. Sifax. This is a court of law. The proceedings here are very serious. I'm generally opposed to any male person who gives a crap about their birthday. When you hear someone utter the words, "It's my birthday month," it's a 99.9% chance that person is a female. It's my birthday month. What am I going to do for my birthday month? My birthday week? I will make an exception in this case, Mr. Sifax. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. It's a one-time exception. JRG Projects for 5. I was a debate MVP champion in high school. I will take the defense because back then you did what you were assigned. I don't mind. Mr. JRG Projects, you may contact us simply by DMing us on Twitter via Film Threat or going to filmthreat.com/contact. Mr. Ing, could you throw that link up? Could you create a...
Yeah.
If you go to filmthreat.com/contact, mention Critics Court, Mr. JRG Projects, and thank you for the 5. If you are interested in being on the defense or the prosecution, please contact us. Going forward, you are going to see some of your favorite YouTubers that will be arguing in this case. I did not expect this many chat comments and questions. We're only through charge number 1. We're going to get through this much faster after this, I promise you folks. Matt Janovic for 9. Thank you for working to protect our shared stories, our cherished myths, one of the glues of our society. Let me just tell you something, Matt. There are people there that are not going to take this trial seriously. They're going to think it's a joke. This is not a joke. This is the fandom taking a stand. This is a fandom that is finally speaking out. And this is also an opportunity for both sides of the fandom to talk to each other. If there's something that can come of this, more than anything, what I would like to see is people that disagree, I would like to see them debate respectfully. We'll see how respectfully that is. Thank you, Matt, for that. Geek Chat 1 for 10. I will present the defense. Sent an email back when this first came up in October. Mr. Geek Chat 1, would you please send another email to filmthreat.com/contact? Just so it's at the top of my inbox. I will get back with you. We will be scheduling our defense, and we'll be scheduling people on the prosecution. Some of the people on the prosecution you might know. One of the people's names rhymes with Schmaller or Birdrotic. Continuing on, Chef Nick Nero 999. This is genius. Cheers. Thanks, Gary, for introducing me to Film Threat. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Mr. Nerdrotic, he may be here. He may be here. Well, I will talk to him. Thank you, Chef. Hemorrhoid Hurts for $2.99. Excuse me. Star Wars murdered. We have the body, weapon, and the DNA. Joey's movie blog for 5. Disney Star Wars killed my childhood. I've heard enough. Guilty, guilty, says AT for 2. New member, Saipion. Thank you for becoming a new member. We do appreciate that. MK Solid 82 says for $4.99. Chris, I sometimes talk in my sleep, and now my wife wants to know who the hell Alan is. Alan is Mr. Ing.
Hey, oh dear, how's
in
it
the
going?
courtroom. Mr. Ing. And if I could ask people in the courtroom to please settle. I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Wonder if you could
Oh, man, are they going to hit me with heads?
let's get that. Let's here.
Silence in the court, please.
Dang it, YouTube.
Can we
hit that like button?
All right, let me let's get the charges back up here. I'm almost through. I'm almost through this, folks. I appreciate jury. I appreciate your patience with this. The bypassed compressor for $199. Please do me justice, jury, please. And thank you for the wonderful artwork on your avatar there. Attic Hatch Sound for Bob Coel for 5. Will content from the documentary The People versus George Lucas be allowed into evidence? Each person who presents their case will be allowed to present evidence. Evidence can come in the form of articles, social media posts, short videos, and expert witnesses. We would like to try to keep case presentation between 30 to 60 minutes, no longer than 60. About 30 minutes is, I think, a good time. If it's slightly under, that's okay too. The prosecution will go first, the defense will go second, and then we will switch to open debate, saving jury comments for the end of the show. Thank you, Attic Hatch Sound. By the way, and I hope that this doesn't cause a problem, I was in the People versus George Lucas. I was asked to give my opinion, and I did give my opinion. I will say this. Perhaps like some judges in America, I might be biased on this issue. That's just the way it is, folks. That's our justice system. David Nelson for $4.99 says Carrie Fisher's death prevented them from the original filming, causing them possibly to have to rewrite much of Act 2. Thank you for that. Derek Rosenfeld for $5. Please, Judge Gore, sentence someone to a lightsaber where the sun don't shine. We will be merciful, but we'll see. I think the jury should decide what should happen. Hayden 75 for 10. I would encourage the members of the jury to share the stream, tell their friends, and invite everyone into the discussion. We all know people on both sides. Bring them into this trial. That's what I want to emphasize. I don't want people to think that this trial is a kangaroo court presenting only one side of the case. That is not going to be, that's not how I'm running this courtroom. Each side will be able to present a fair argument, okay? Each side. So, happy boy. I hope that other channels, maybe some Star Wars channel, will watch the trial live and comment live.
That's kind of what I wanted to do originally.
Echo Bates Network, where are you?
One thing after another.
You should be streaming us on your live stream, commenting on this trial.
That's kind of what I'm doing now.
This is important for fans.
1 year later.
It's very important. Mr. Ng, could you refrain from snickering, please? Please refrain from snickering. This is a very serious case. All right.
Do live streams of
I'm moving on from this. We will get back to this.
The future ones live.
I could close that for a moment on the banner.
Streams, if I remember,
close that banner, Alan.
Were
Mr.
taking place while I was at work.
Close that banner.
So
you should add that to the Critics Court banner. All right. And now presenting charge number 2.
Charge number 2.
Could you lose that banner at the bottom, please? My apologies. No, it's got to be.
Cut him off.
Charge number 2, breaking canon. Mr. Ng, can you please explain?
Charge number 2. Lucasfilm is charged with breach of contract with its fans, breaking canon and changing the terms of George Lucas's lore and mythology.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read the rest of it, or
please elaborate on that?
All right. So by breaking canon, we were talking about the fact that created more canon issues rather than solving them with interesting storytelling. What happened to the Force? Gender definition of the Force. For example, the Force is female. Rewriting history. Removing Slave Leia and Slave One. Created more canon issues rather. Okay, and we got that. But the idea here being that they have moved away from George Lucas's vision, from his philosophy regarding the Force, and have essentially turned the Force into beings with telekinetic powers. And so we do not have the Star Wars that we were promised, and the Star Wars that George Lucas had originally created. And also to add to that, rewriting of George Lucas's lore and mythology.
Okay, again, Mr. Ng with the snickering. I'm not sure you understand the level of seriousness with this case. I do have a gavel, and I am willing to use the gavel. If you would just please take this with the level of seriousness that this subject deserves.
Yes.
Mr. Blackwood, our sketch artist,
hey,
if at a certain point you completed a sketch that you feel worth showing in prominence and will put you full screen, could you note that in the private chat, Mr. Blackwood? And thank you for your artwork artwork there. I'm going to go to the next charge, and we will be breaking that up, going back to your comments, questions, and super chats. But I want to get through at least 2 more charges. Let's show Mr. Blackwood full screen here for a moment, if we could. Look, that's lovely art, Mr. Blackwood. That's fantastic. A beloved character from the Star Wars universe, Lando Calrissian, played by Billy D. Williams. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Blackwood. Moving on to charge number 3.
Steve, you always buy books, but I never see you reading.
Paperweights. Hey, do you mind getting this? Because I only have euros.
My pleasure, because I earn unlimited 2% cash back.
We split that.
No.
Unlimited 2% cash back. The Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card.
Damn it.
Franklin University makes it
Seriously?
possible.
Constant.
If you would read the 3rd charge, Mr. Ng.
Yes, I would. Charge number 3. Lucasfilm is charged with negligence in the handling of its franchise. Failed to have a plan. By failing to properly plan out the story for the sequel trilogy, the result was a final trilogy that satisfied no one, resulting in an unsatisfying conclusion. By failing to have a proper plan out of the story sequel trilogy, the results were a final film that was dramatically story. What is that? I'm reading this stuff. They hired writers.
Mr. Ng.
I'm reading these notes. Notes are just not.
Could you please read the charges? This is very important. There are people listening to this that are in their cars driving, and for those people who are listening, I would like Mr. Ng to read the full charges of the case. Mr. Ng, please continue.
Okay. Negligent in the handling of the Star Wars franchise. Failed to have a plan. By failing to properly plan out the story for the sequel trilogy, the result was a final film that was dramatically storytelling. Hiring hack writers. Decanonization of the EU while plagiarizing old plot points. Failed to reach the box office potential the franchise had. Milking the franchise to death. Rehashing of previous tropes. Nostalgia bait, lack of excellence in storytelling, breach of verbal contract with George Lucas, the Thrawn series, hiring hack writers, decanonization of the EU while plagiarizing old points, failed to further the character story arcs, and including merchandising, the horrible merchandising.
He's drawing the next one.
So what we are saying here is that they winged it, that they had no plan. J.J. Abrams created The Force Awakens to bring fans back into the fold and introduce new fans, and then shifted directions with Rian Johnson, who had gone with his idea of where the Star Wars universe should go, and then negated all that with The Rise of Skywalker. Also, they have no idea what they're doing over there. The idea of excellence is no longer a word that we can associate with Star Wars and this whole Thrawn thing. Your Honor, that is charge number 3. Your Honor, you're muted.
Charge number 4, Mr. Ng, could you please read charge number 4? And just to be clear, that mistake that I just made is no different than many of the other technical problems and issues that you have in any court case. So I would say that we're up in line with most of your modern court cases. When you watch any court televised live, you're going to have technical mistakes. And we appreciate the jury's patience with our this is not a television production. This is a real courtroom, and you are the real jurors, and I appreciate your patience with us. Charge number 4, sir. Mr. Ng, could you continue, please?
Yes. Charge number 4. Lucasfilm is charged with flagrant violation of Star Wars canon with the injection of current day politics into Star Wars lore. By introducing current day politics into what should have been timeless storytelling, adding politics to storytelling, threatening audiences with accusations of racism, forcing diversity, again, the removal of Slave Leia and Slave One, and instead of adhering to the goals of timelessness, okay.
This, first of all, look, I am seeing there's a typo here. I see two sentences buttered up. It should be a timeless classic or a timeless story. I see typos in this document. Mr. Ng, post this court proceedings. Would you please go through the document, or have one of your colleagues at Film Threat go through the document to correct some of these spelling errors? We're not going to be taken seriously. We're not going to be taken seriously if these charges are not perfect grammatically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important, and I think the jury would agree with me.
Yes.
All right.
I believe the second paragraph are notes versus the actual charges.
And look, this is my promise to the jury: is we are going to share this document in the link in the description. You will have access to the full document, and Mr. Ng will, in the next few days, is going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and correct any errors. I promise you. If this is to be taken seriously, it's very important that this be clear, spelled out, so anyone can understand it. Let's go to our chat before we go to charge number 5. I would like to see what
man. That's crazy.
Members of the jury are thinking. I'm going to take this for a second. Mr. Blackwood, I'm going to put you full screen because I see some very interesting artwork here. If you would not mind sharing that with us. There you are. Going to your chat comments and questions here. Excellent. We are about halfway through.
On fire.
that looks phenomenal. That's an X-Wing. I wonder if it's from the original trilogy, the sequels. There you are.
Oh, recording a little video.
To your chat comments and questions before we move on to charge number 5. Justice Buttcrack Media. First of all, I can't believe you made me say that in my courtroom. Justice Buttcrack Media has been a member for 2 months. Threat level 1 says, "Hail Justice Gore and Allen and to the chat." Or do you mean the jury? Lord Thoth has been a member for 6 months. Hail everyone. Court is in session. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Join us as a member. Flocky the Mad for $1.99 says, "Guilty, guilty, off with their heads." Hooligan S3 for $9.99. "If the IKEA chair doesn't sit, you must acquit."
Well, that's looking like a good.
I agree with that sentiment. Navalax 2 for Danish 20 Danish krona. "Disney is guilty on all charges." Members of the jury, might I remind you, these proceedings are going to take place over weeks and months of debate. I implore you to keep an open mind.
Judge Gore's doing a good job on this.
You may have your biases. I understand. What I would like you to do is listen to the defense, listen to the prosecution as we go through these charges, and just please keep an open mind. Andrew Mumpetit for 5 says, "Have the details been released yet for the wake funeral arrangements for the beloved franchise?"
So soon?
That would have to be, I think that depends on where the court case is going to go. Tom B has become a member. Thank you. And Andrew Monpetit has also become a member. Thank you for that. Thomas Korn for 5. "I will put my hat in the ring for the defense." Mr. Korn, go to Alan, if you could throw up that for a moment, that go to filmthreat.com/contact. Mention you would like to be a part of Critics Court. We're looking for people to argue the defense. We're looking for some of the biggest, perhaps, Star Wars YouTube channels to come in for the defense. Get ready for a bumpy ride, folks. Austin Smith is here for $4.99. Says Disney has been found guilty and is charged to make a live-action Thrawn trilogy, the real sequel trilogy. Says Austin Smith. Is this the same Austin Smith, the composer of a movie called Attack of the Doc? Mr. Smith, let me know. Andrew Monpetit for 2. Do we know the official cause of death? Well, I think the cause of death is noted in these charges. But certainly the death of the fandom, the dissatisfaction with this sequel trilogy and its spawned Disney Plus shows. Thank you, Andrew. Geek Chat 1 for 10. I will present the defense. Sent an email back when this first came up in October. Yes, please resend it if you would not mind.
WyzGyzEFAPS.
Buford T. Justice for $49.99. Thank you, sir, for your generous donation. So I'm supposed to be respectful towards Disney Star Wars fans, the same so-called fans that called me a Russian bot, a racist, a sexist, an alt-right Yahtzee, a toxic fan. I'm sorry, Chris. The time for respectful conversation has come and gone. I'm done.
Dang, he's doing a good job.
Mr. Justice, it's important, I believe, that we respectfully have discourse. And that is why I am inviting people to present the defense. The defense will be respectful towards the prosecution. I hope you'll keep an open mind, Mr. Justice, during these proceedings. And thank you so much for your generous super chat. Andrew Monpetit for 5. Could you define the difference between failing to have a plan versus major changes to the plan? You could argue they had a plan, but changed the plan. That will come out during the proceedings. These are merely the charges. It will be up to the prosecution and the defense to present their arguments. And thank you for that. Thank you. I want to make sure that I don't miss any of these. If you could unstar these as I read them, that will be very helpful to me. BMC CB for $19.99. Ladies and gentlemen, the supposed jury X-ray dad does not make sense. There are some false rumors I know that are circulating about Mr. Ng regarding his lineage with an X-ray girl. That's another case. That is not a case that we will be litigating today. And thank you for your generous donation. Martin Zemek for 100.
It's a running film for that LNE is dad of.
I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but
regarding the charge number 1, in a 2016 interview, Carrie Fisher said it's about family, and that's what makes it so powerful, which was used many times in promotional materials. Very misleading. Interesting. All right. Become the Knight for 20 says, I'm pretty sure I can represent the defense for charge 2, and you should absolutely get short, fat otaku for the defense of charge 4, politics. Mr. Knight, would you mind reaching out, taking the link to this, reaching out to the short, fat otaku? Would you mind reaching out to them and telling them how to contact us? That would be great. Any of your suggestions are helpful. And thank you, Become the Knight, for your generous super chat here. We're continuing. Torchwood Gal for 2. Can volunteer as court clerk, published writer. Please send what's the contact information again, Mr. Ng? It would be
filmthread.com/contact.
We have our sketch artist. We could certainly use a clerk. Thank you so much for that. These proceedings will take place every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. The court will go as long as it goes. I'm estimating 2 to 3 hours. It could go much longer, and I appreciate the patience from our jury. Miranda Sinistra, a Film Threat member, gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you so much, Miranda. That is much appreciated. I believe in jury nullification, says Neil 913 for 5. Look, I think the jury, we want people here from all opposing views. Everyone is welcome to be a part of this jury. If you are in the chat, if you are watching this live, you are a part of the jury and you can participate by commenting. You can participate by voting, which we're going to do starting next week. Be here live.
Isn't that?
Because that's when it's happening.
Wait a minute. Or is that?
We have more chats, but we will get to those momentarily. I want to continue with the charges.
Pablo Hidalgo.
So, Mr. Ng.
Pink suit.
Let's we are on. Is it charge number 5? Is the next one?
I thought it was.
Yes, Your Honor.
John Favreau first. But I can't imagine John Favreau.
Charge number 5. If you would bring that up on screen, Mr. Ng, and read it.
Personally, I'd go with Sparkle. It cleans everyday messes, and it won't clean out your wallet.
For us, please.
Yes. Here we go. Charge number 5. Lucasfilm is charged with defective lore building into Star Wars by altering mystical elements of Star Wars canon. By demystifying elements of Star Wars that made the story worse. For example, Solo's last name, the Falcon's computer, Lando's robot obsession, death ceasing to matter, weapons charge, Class A, the proper use of lethal force, using a lightsaber and blatant disregard for an elegant weapon, putting custodians in charge who are not qualified for the task.
Mr. Ng, if I just need to implore you, you're reading here. Please read as accurately as you possibly can. I understand that we're shorthanded today. We do have a sketch artist, but we don't have a clerk. I want to make sure that an accurate reading of this so that those who are listening to this, merely listening, they're listening because they're working, they're listening because they're in their cars. I want to make sure it's an accurate representation of what's on screen.
Okay.
All right, let's get to charge number 6. Please read charge. Okay, yeah, Mr. Ng, please read charge number 6, sir.
Charge number 6. Lucasfilm is charged with defamation of its fan base, blatant disregard, and threatening fans. Storytelling does not appeal to a wide fan base, attacking fans and making false claims, dividing the fandom, subpar products and merchandising, lack of quality control in products and games, Slave Leia once again, the theme park without legacy characters, and the bastardization of Blue Milk.
Okay, let's go to some more comments from the jury. And thank you, members of the jury, for your patience as we go through. There are 9 charges. We want to make sure that everyone understands these charges. We will make changes to the document with suggestions. Clearly, we're going to fix any grammatical errors. I promise you that we will fix grammatical errors or mistakes. Some of those grammatical errors may be Mr. Ng's reading. As I've said before, Mr. Ng, the smirking is not appreciated.
Okay.
In this courtroom.
Duly noted.
All right. Let's go through your comments and questions here. We will also have a brief recess and finish up. But let me get to your comments here. Bushin Ryu Cat for 5. Objection. We should throw out diversity as a critique versus Star Wars. Diversity was always in Star Wars as a critique versus Star Wars. Possibly. We will see with the prosecution and the defense how they argue that. Thank you for your comment, Bushin Ryu Cat. Gregory Lieber for 2. The death of LucasArts shall not go unpunished. Thank you, Mr. Lieber. Dr. Certifiable for 2. Throw him in the Sarlacc pit. Well, we shall see. We shall see. We'll see here. Trigger happy for 20 Danish Corona. PP poo poo. Star Wars sequels are doo doo. I understand the sentiment, Mr. Trigger Happy. I would ask that you take this with a level of seriousness, just as I take this seriously. I think the whole world should take this seriously. Those accused should really be taking this seriously. We're now at a point where Lucasfilm and Disney are on trial for the murder of Star Wars. This should not be taken lightly. And comments like pee-pee and poo-poo, while Mr. Ng may find those entertaining, and maybe I find it entertaining, I still would ask to please take these proceedings very seriously, as do many of the others in the jury here. Thank you, Mr. Trigger Happy. Thank you for that. Colossus of Bane for 5. Your Honor, I can defend Disney Star Wars on the grounds of anime filler-style content. It can be skipped and does not detract from the main story. Colossus of Bane, thank you for that comment. M Service for 550. 50. I don't know. I just couldn't help myself. Please sequester Nick Rekieta. I believe he has evidence to present, Your Honor.
The Lord of the Rings
he's working
collab is
on Yoda
finally
next.
here. You can learn to crochet the Lord of the Rings characters with this new box set. Inside.
If there are people in the chat, we'll do this at the end. Please comment below who you would like to see presenting prosecution or the defense. We will reach out to them. Nick Rekieta is on my list. I'd like to see Mr. Rekieta in my courtroom, critics court, and I'd love to hear his arguments. I actually don't know where Mr. Rekieta stands on Star Wars, if he loves it or dislikes it. That would be very interesting. So, M Service, any other suggestions you have for either on the defense, who do you think, on the prosecution, who do you think? We will take all of those suggestions into account, and Nick Rekieta, top of the list for me, top of the list. Snakes and Funerals for 10. Star Wars should be released to the public domain. Most YouTubers could do a better job with that IP than Disney has. Mexican Iron Man, who is a member, says, Mexican Iron Man, Iron Bailiff, Mexican Iron Bailiff, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, the tortilla stick of justice shall throw the beat down. Okay, Mr. Iron Man. Judge Gore. But what if Mr. Ng flashes the jury? Mr. Ng, says MK Solid 82 for $1.99. On a personal note, I have seen other videos that you've appeared in on YouTube. I would ask that you refrain from taking your top off during these proceedings. I've seen some of these videos. I know they were done with good humor. You will wear a suit in my courtroom, and you will take these proceedings very seriously. Do you understand, Mr. Ng?
Yes, Your Honor. But with all due respect, sometimes justice must prevail.
All
By
right.
justice, I mean my boobs.
Oh, geez.
I'm going to let that one slide this time. Ministry of Wrongthink for what? For $9.99. Objection, Your Honor. This case cannot proceed without ample representation by Autism Anonymous on behalf of the sequel trilogy. If this is someone you think should be part of the defense, please reach out to these people. Please tag us. Send them the video.
Autism Anonymous.
I want to make this very clear. All are welcome. All are welcome. If you're a Star Wars fan that loved the sequels, if you think The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie ever made, come to my courtroom. I promise you, you will be respected, and I promise you, you will be heard. You may also encounter someone who disagrees with you. We're going to try to prove something that I believe is possible, and that is people on the internet respectfully debating each other. I know it sounds like an impossible dream. I believe that it is possible. And thank you, Ministry of Wrongthink. David Nelson for $4.99. The Clone Wars episode with the female Yoda speaking plainly undermines the real Yoda and makes him seem like he was on the hard R spectrum. Interesting take. Dallas Motorman for 5. Do any of these charges address the intimacy coordinator for a Star Wars acolyte? Not yet. Not that I'm aware. I am going to guess that that will come up later in this trial. Who knows what will come up? Everything is fair game. If it's Star Wars, it is fair game in order to make your argument. Tomby for 10 pounds. Late charge added. Lucasfilm is charged with trying to use a Jedi mind trick and thinking the audience are weak-minded. Now, we have not gone through all the charges yet. That may, in fact, be part of one of the upcoming charges, Tomby. Thank you for your comment and super chat there. Akanika has been a member for 9 months, threat level 1. Does Blackstone have a sketch of Finn? It's actually Mr. Blackwood. Follow him on Instagram. The link is in the description for this episode, or it will be. And thank you, Akanika. Always enjoy your very astute and important questions. Look at this. Let's look at the sketch. There's Finn right there. Blackstone has a sketch of Finn as we speak. Finn? Going through these before we take a brief recess.
Oh, that's
Blue
like
Tit Milk says for the Emperor for $4.99.
Expression shooting innocence.
Jay's Sticky Spoon Only Fans for $4.99. What are the mandatory minimum sentencing for the charges? And yes, my name is stuck for 2 weeks. The jury will be involved in the sentencing.
Oh.
I will hear recommendations of what the sentencing will be, but this is something the jury will decide. Just as the jury will decide the case, the jury will decide the sentence. The sentence may be something as simple as you must unsubscribe from all Star Wars social media, YouTube channel, to maybe something worse. I'm going to leave that up to the jury. Bethesda Lore Master for 2. This should be an arson/murder trial against Lucasfilm.
Arson.
Interesting. Naylax 2 for 20 Danish Corona. I am the Senate. I know that. Jedi Council for the Defense says Andrew Monpetit for 2. Possibly. Excuse me. A bit under the weather. Gritterin Master for 2 says Razor Fist.
Oh, is that,
if Razor Fist is available at the time of the trial, it's possible
is that
to
the
join.
armor?
Thank you for the suggestion. Shum, Mexican Iron Man's opinion must be disregarded. He's part of the anti-Stallone movie Mafia. Okay. Well, thank you for your comments. And Eric July would also be good. I like that suggestion. That's good. We are going to take a brief recess, just a couple of minutes. You can take a bathroom break. During this time, this next few minutes, take a quick bathroom break. We'll be back shortly to go through the final charges and your final comments and questions. It will be a very brief break, I promise you. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Do not go away. Do not leave the channel as we do this. We will play some videos to entertain you.
Life's better when you're under our roof. Save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
This place is crazy.
I have a special guest. She's my eyes and ears.
What was the trinity of Carrie, Mark, and...
The problem is that making film is an art. Selling film is a business.
Right.
The trouble is that they don't know how to sell films. As a result, they try to make you make films that people will go to without them having to be sold, which is the real key to the problem. And if they weren't so backward and, you know, I mean, they just, if they can't put a film in a theater and have people rush to the door, they're not interested.
When I took over the licensing, I simply said, I'm going to be able to make T-shirts, I'm going to be able to make posters, and I'm going to be able to sell this movie, even though the studio won't.
No! Food? Yes. Crunchy food. C-3POs.
New Kellogg's C-3POs. Twin-rings phased together for a crunchy new force at breakfast.
Yeah, the force is with us.
A delicious part of this nutritious breakfast.
You're always surprised with characters. I mean, in film, it's even more dramatic than it is in writing, because eventually you actually take a real person and stick them into that character. And that real person brings with him or her an enormous package of reality. I mean, 3PO is just a hunk of plastic. And without Tony Daniels in there, it just isn't anything at all.
Watch it, Tauntaun. Gotcha.
Tauntaun comes with an open belly rescue feature.
You'll be okay, Luke, as soon as I chase away that thing. Baba!
We've already hit the air with 2 stellar promotions. The first features our free action figure offer with Bosk, Alien Bounty Hunter.
Star Wars fun meals for your kids. A hamburger, french fries, and Coca-Cola. Imagine how much fun your kids will have.
Hey, Vinny. I wonder if Star Wars is claiming any Fourth Amendment rights.
Please be seated.
For protection of any sort. Man, they had a
Court is now back in session.
Nice collection of ads.
I appreciate your patience during that brief recess.
I wonder if all the recesses are going to show that one, or if they have even more.
Mr. Ng, where were we?
Yeah.
Where were we? And thank you for sticking with us through the brief recess. We hope you were entertained. Mr. Ng, which charge?
We are on charge number 7.
Charge number 7. Mr. Ng, if you would read charge number 7, please.
Yes. Charge number 7. Lucasfilm is charged with altering classic characters of Star Wars to fix narrative problems. For example, defamation of characters. For example, Luke Skywalker, identity theft, cheapening Vader's sacrifice, altering classic characters to avoid residual.
This document must be copy edited, please, Mr. Ng. Could you get one of your colleagues to please go through this?
Yeah.
This is unacceptable in my courtroom. This is truly unacceptable. The members of the jury, now over 1,600 people in our jury, I expect this motivation, the spelling of motivation, sir. This is not acceptable. Please continue to read and make this out as best as you possibly can. My apologies to the jury for this. We will correct it.
Okay. Faulty to sabotage legacy characters, intruding new conflicted and confusing characters, motivate action and arcs without working them into existing stories.
That burger was bad.
Pre-established. This is truly unacceptable. This is truly unacceptable, Mr. Ng. Unacceptable. I agree. Okay, we will share this document. I promise you. It will also be corrected in the next day. Mr. Ng, if there's someone that you have who could copy edit this.
Yeah.
This is not if this case is to be taken seriously,
reprehensible.
It's
a mockery of the court.
All right. Charge number 8.
Pay attention, because this right here, the buy one, get one free deal on Vanish holsters, is soon going.
Charge number 8. Lucasfilm is charged with breach of contract with its blatantly disregarding the expanded universe, thereby rendering irrelevant the millions of dollars consumers spent on the extended universe, making the extended universe not canon, then going on to use ideas from the extended universe.
Yeah.
The justification of new stories that were criminally negligent dating of Star Wars with modern slang.
Okay, all right. Well, now look, before we go to the final charge number 9, we are going to go to super chats and comments here. Blackguard 4 for 10. The professionalism in these documents is amazing. And to be clear, for those just listening, this person, Blackguard 4, is making a joke and misspelled everything in their comments. And for that, I appreciate your wit. Mexican Iron Man for 10. Your Honor, Mexican Iron Bailiff is available to place an order for Mr. Ng to utilize Chat GPT. Spell check, Your Honor. I also offer one of my MS365 spell check word licenses for the court's benefit. Thank you, Mr. Iron Man. We will make sure that Mr. Ng has a cleaned up document. This, if this is to be taken seriously, we must get this document cleaned up. It's very important. It's not acceptable, not in my courtroom. Daniel Johnson for 1990. Film Threat T-shirt collaboration with Todd of this court case, please. Hail 199. Some have suggested the Critics Court logo could be a T-shirt. Maybe some of Mr. Blackwood's artwork could be a T-shirt. I appreciate this. I like the suggestion. Austin Smith for $4.99. Will there be a doll provided to show where Disney touched the fandom? I'm not the composer. Well, there you are. I know a person named Austin Smith who's a composer. Okay. I don't know. Alan, perhaps when we get to that, perhaps when we get to evidence. Joey Hamilton for $4.99. Happy to join the defense, but I feel like Paul Newman in the verdict, and Chris is giving off Judge Hoyle vibes. What's the name of the judge from My Cousin
Paul
Vinny?
Newman in the verdict. Oh.
I bet it's Judge Hoyle.
No, he was mentioned in the movie The Verdict.
Okay, hold on.
Hang him. Anyways. Andrew Mumpetit for 2. Does this pertain only to movies or all media? Whatever the argument calls for. In the expanded universe is books, comics, whatnot. We're talking about the murder of the franchise. So it does pertain to not just the movies. Andrew, thank you for that.
There's a reference to your colleague, Judge Holler.
Judge Holler. Okay, there you go. Snail Messiah for 20 Danish Corona. I request Mahler as an expert witness and prosecutor. Mr. Mahler has already been contacted. You may reach out to Mr. Mahler via social media and suggest that he make an appearance. Torchwood Gal for 2. Email sent for clerk of court, Your Honor. Thank you, Torchwood Gal. We appreciate that. Jake, the movie geek for $1.99. Get Star Wars Theory. He's the biggest Star Wars YouTuber. Would some of you reach out to Star Wars Theory? I do not know how to reach out to Star Wars Theory. I don't even know, where would Star Wars Theory stand on this case? Does anyone have any ideas? All right. Truck Driving Gamer for 5. Your honorableness. While a time limit may need to be enforced, I humbly submit the long man, Mahler, for prosecution.
Oh, is that
Wilhelm
Infinity with the...
Yes, Mahler's name has been brought up several times. He will be considered. It is really up to Mr. Mahler. And then Left Cross for $1.99. Get Literature Devil. He's so often overlooked. Please have him reach out. Excuse me, folks. I hear other people coughing in the courtroom, so I'm just going to do the same. John Bluer for £10. Star witness for the prosecution, Rich Evans. Additional recommended charge, a complete lack of theatrical cuts publicly available. Interesting. I'm not sure if that's... We have one last charge to go over.
Lack of theatrical.
Shinatsky for $9.99. I want you to consider, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk, but Chewbacca lives on the planet Endor. Now think about that. That does not make sense. Thank you, Shinatsky, for your comment. Much appreciated.
Yeah, why?
We're going to get back to more of your comments. I see a lot of you are suggesting people to be on there, to be, to present either prosecution or defense. We have one final charge. Mr. Ng, would you please read this? And hopefully this is not filled with typos as some of the other previous charges have been. Please read it, sir.
Charge number 9. Lucasfilm is charged with knowingly and maliciously hiring Kathleen Kennedy, who would make false promises to George Lucas regarding the handling of his franchise.
I thought
Referring
George
to talent mismanagement, the hiring of Kathleen Kennedy, negligent mishandling of assets, hiring showrunners,
to Disney.
John Boyega, that's just thrown in there, withholding royalties to the EU authors, including Alan Dean Foster and Timothy Zahn.
Yeah, when you've got just the name John Boyega there, you've got to be more specific in these charges. Not only do I expect the charges to be cleaned up grammatically speaking, I would like some expansion upon these charges just to better explain what someone meant by just you can't just say John Boyega.
Yeah.
I know. I have no idea why John Boyega is here.
You can't just don't make me use my gavel, sir. Okay. All right. And I want to remind people, I want to remind everyone watching that you are a part of the jury. You will determine the verdict.
A 3% IRA match with Robinhood Gold. The reckoning has commenced.
In critics' court. The verdict will come at the end of the trial. The sentencing will also be determined by everyone on the jury. What I'd like to do now is go through final comments before we wrap up court for today. It's shorter proceedings today than we would normally do. Next week, court will be in session. We will have members of the prosecution and defense for the first argument. What's the first charge that we will be arguing next week, Mr. Ng? You could share that on screen.
Yes.
Argument, the first charge.
Yes. Lucasfilm is charged with fraudulent representation. Lucasfilm knowingly set expectations that the original trilogy cast would reunite in The Force Awakens. Fans were led to believe that Han, Luke, and Leia would reunite.
Okay, let's go now to your comments and questions as we wrap up court for today. This might take some time. If you have any comments regarding today's proceedings, what you think about the charges, and by the way, Mr. Ng, two things need to happen. This document needs to be shared for simply, we're not, unfortunately, I can't have people editing this document. It will be view only. So is it shared in the description of this episode?
Not yet. And not only that, we're now requesting that you give me edit access to this document.
Did I not do that, sir?
You did not do that. I just requested it.
Mr. Ng, first of all, I apologize for that. My apologies. My apologies. Just because I am the judge, I am your honor. I am also human. I have just given you edit access to the document. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, I cannot do that for the more than 1,600 of you that are watching, you will be able to view the document. And we'd love to hear your suggestions for changes to this document. We will also publish this document publicly so others can see it. We would like you to see it as well. Let me go through your super chat first. Sorry, sir. Yes.
I'm saying I have access now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Moving on, Mr. Ng. And Mr. Blackwood, we could so next week we will be debating charge number 1. Let's see the progress for Mr. Blackwood. I would like to see the progress on these sketches. Well, there you are. That looks like Mr. George Lucas. Mr. George Lucas. Excellent. All right. Your comments and questions today. Andrew Monpetit for 5. Will there be a members deliberation live stream? If not, there should be. And not just because I joined up today. That is a very good suggestion. And just to be clear, while I have innumerable, I have just lots of experience in television courtroom drama and movie courtroom drama. I have only limited courtroom experience in real life, though I have been to small claims court 3 times, and each time I won. Each time I appeared in small claims court, I won the case. But again, my experience is limited, and I am not going to lie. We're making this up as we go along. Any of your suggestions of how we can make this a better show, how exactly we should conduct this? I want people to feel this was fair. I don't want people who are on the defensive position to feel as if they have been railroaded by members of the jury. Okay? I want people to feel this was a fair trial. This is also a courtroom of the people, by the people, and the jury's wishes will be respected. Any reasonable suggestion will be seriously considered. Let me go to your chat comments and questions here. Philip Trevor for 5. This is great. Thank you. Well, Philip, please come back next week. The trial begins. This is not the fireworks. We're just reading the charges. Next week, you are going to see people battle it out. You are going to see the prosecution. You're going to see the defense. And anyone that doesn't step up and come to play in my courtroom will be summarily rejected. Again with the smirk, Mr. Ng. All right. Mexican Iron Man says, like, subscribe, and share before leaving the court stream. What I hope is that this is taken seriously enough that other channels will live stream our court stream and comment live. Because I expect, while this stream today was short, we're merely introducing the charges, which clearly have to be amended. I would like to see these charges amended as soon as possible, Mr. Ng.
Yes.
Many obvious typos and errors. We will get that fixed, I promise you. But what I promise you going forward, this is going to be treated with the utmost seriousness. I expect everyone that shows up in the courtroom to vigorously debate their side. And members of the jury, you're a part of it. You are a part of it. Harry Anders for 100 Swedish krona. Your Honor, Mr. Prosecutor, thank you for this long-awaited and much-needed trial against the travesty that is Star Wars post-1983. We thank you. The people are in support. The force is with you. Thank you, Harry. Much appreciated, and thank you for being a member. Big Worm for 10, who's also a member. Hail FT, all you need for charge number 1 is for the prosecution to play the last 7 minutes of Star Trek Picard, Season 3, Episode 9. That's all Disney had to do. It was that easy. Guilty as charged. Long live and prosper. Well, thank you for that, sir.
It was live long and prosper.
What did I say?
You said long live and prosper.
I am tired. It's been a long day of court. For those of you that don't know, that don't follow me on social media, I was in Las Vegas last week for a meetup. I did what one does in Vegas, which is go too far, drink too much. I came back with a little under the weather. I am not at full capacity. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the correction, Mr. Ing. I do appreciate that. Blackguard 4, is the plan or goal to try to have a new prosecutor defender each week? Yes, Blackguard 4. The goal is to have a different prosecutor, different defender each week. Now, if someone's very good, we may ask them to return. This is your courtroom, jury. If a particular prosecutor, defender does very well, you may request that they return. I would like to have a diverse group of people in my courtroom. And by diverse, I mean diversity of ideas. I would like people from all aspects of fandom to join. And what I would like them to do is to debate each other respectfully. That is what's going to happen in my courtroom. So that's the goal, Blackguard 4. Having said that, if a particular person does a job that people like, perhaps we'll have that person return. I'm not going to lie. We are kind of making this up as we go along.
Yeah. You didn't have to admit that.
Again with the smirking from Mr. Ing. Loki's Mornings of Mischief for $9.99. Can you add the charge of complete ruination of the villain Loki by Disney? He was kind of cool before they butchered him. That is a different case.
Marvel.
Loki's Mornings of Mischief. That would be the case fans versus Marvel. There could be a fans versus Trek. If people like this show, I don't know that this is something we could do. You know, I think we maybe do this a couple times a year. I will be open to discussing the possibility of other cases. JJ and KK ruined Star Wars. Lock them up, says no money G for 5. Darian Murphy for $4.99. Did Justice Gore just say Swedish coronas as if the Swedish currency is beer? Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Again, I'm human, and yes, Swedish. Is it Swedish? What is it?
It's Swedish krona.
Krona.
Two syllables.
Now you see where my mind is. I'm
Krona.
thinking of Corona. But yes, Darian Murphy, I did make a mistake, and I appreciate you keeping me honest. That's why we love the chat. Ken Bogus for 2. I am taking this 100% serious, gentlemen, and court. Thanks very much. Avox Prime for 5. 1 new charge to add: terrible brand management, including theme parks, merchandising, and video games. My feeling is that will come up during some of the other arguments. That will come up. But we had to keep it to 9 charges. So that's what we have. David Nelson for $1.99. Please have Robert. Wait, what happened?
Sorry, I'm trying to start a thing here.
Okay, can you go back to?
Yeah, I wish I could. There you go.
I missed it.
Is that the one?
Please have Robert Govia Esquire YouTube look over it. Thank you very much for that. Nick Echo Base Network for $4.99. Did you call? Low. Wait, Nick Echo Base Network. We want you on the show. My DMs are open. I'm available via email. What is the contact information, Mr. Ing?
It is contact us at filmthread.com/contact.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ing. I appreciate that. My cousin Vinny's judge was Chamberlain Holler, says Nicholas Vargo for $1.99. Good to see you, Nicholas. Always good to see you. Attic Hatch Sound, Bob Cole for 5. I submit a Rose Tico action figure will be used in lieu of a touch doll. Plenty in supply. That is possible. Shinatsky for $1.99. I wish to give testimony. Should we need witnesses, we will reach out. Again, we are making this up as we go along. Become the Knight for 5. Just emailed you and finding the best way to reach out. Short Fat Otaku. Mahler has him on EFAP regularly, so he could definitely get in touch with them. Thank you for that. I have been already in touch with Mahler. I was on a live stream with him on the Real BBC, and he mentioned being interested. If Mr. Mahler would like to come to an American courtroom, he is welcome to join. I know he is not an American citizen. This is an international, if not an intergalactic courtroom. We lost Mr. Blackwood. Go right there. Let's do this. Continuing with your comments here, Mr. Blackwood may have had a technical issue. Here he's back. Okay. We'll just keep this going here. Ken Bogus is for threat level 2 has been a member for 9 months. Says 9 months as a member, hoping for how many more?
That would be 69, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor.
Okay, Harry Anders for 50. I will use all my Swedish krona to buy his honor all the coronas he needs as long as Lucasfilm is convicted. Best court drama since 12 Angry Men. Well, thank you for that. Mark of Reality for 5. Star Wars Theory would be a witness for whichever side wants to call him as a witness. Mahler would be a witness for the prosecutor, criminal trial. Well, thank you. And that's all the super chats we have. Please follow us. Please also hashtag Film Threat, hashtag Film Threat Critics Court, hashtag Critics Court. I want to read here. Wait a second. Some of these suggestions. Some people say Star Wars Girl, that Star Wars Girl, Mike Zero, Critical Drinker, Mahler, Disparate, Nerdrotic, Legal Eagle on the opposing side of Ricada. Theory is the special prosecutor. Star Wars Explained. Thank you for these comments. Thorius, Unlimited, and Robot Head. Thank you for that. All right. Let's get this, Alan, in the banners for this. Make sure that we have this. I want to say thank you to our producer, Glanuccio. I want to say thank you to our moderator, Ms. P. Coffee, and to all the other mods out there. I even want to say thank you to Mr. Ing. I appreciate that you wore. Is that what kind of tie is that, sir?
That'd be
what tie?
It would be a silk tie, Your Honor.
Winnie the Pooh.
What's on the tie? If you could stand up and show us, please.
Oh, it would be Winnie the Pooh.
Mr. Ing, it's important to me that we take the proceedings very seriously. I'm not sure that a Winnie the Pooh tie is appropriate.
Favoritism.
But you're welcome to have.
Yes, well, I will remove the poo off my tie.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Also, Mr. Blackwood PDX, thank you for your sketches. What is if you could show off some of the sketches that you've done today in our court, Mr. Blackwood. I saw that George Lucas was there. I see Ray. And all of those can be seen. If you could put up that banner at the bottom. Follow Mr. Blackwood on Instagram. Blackwood, what is that, Alan? Mr. We need to put these all in the critics.
We need to organize these things better.
Banners. Well, make sure you do that next week.
Yes.
Here we go. Courtroom sketches by Todd Blackwood. BlackwoodPDX.com at Blackwood_PDX on. We appreciate that. What does this say?
Is that something she said before?
What does that say?
Fool, turn off that bullshit.
Fool, turn off that bullshit. All right. Well, there you go. Well, thank you for that, Mr. Blackwood. That ends today's proceedings. I want to thank the members of our jury. Oh, wait. Robert Meyer Burnett would be good for the prosecution. X-Wing would be good for the defense, says Nick at Echo Base Network. Nick, are you interested in participating in this trial? We have 9 arguments. Please, you can contact me by email. I will share the document. You need to pick a charge to debate. We're going to take this very seriously. You'll have between 30 to 60 minutes to present, another 30 to 60 minutes for the defense, and then there'll be another 30 to 60 minutes for open debate that involves our jury. I want to thank the members of the jury today. Mr. Ng, any final words? Have I missed anything?
I believe you have everything. We are very excited and anticipating the proceedings next week.
Okay. That ends courtroom. That ends the court for today. I want to thank my producer, Glanuccio, who did a fantastic job. Nick, Echo Base Network for 198. Yes, I'm interested as well. Thank you. I would think that on Echo Base Network, you would be live streaming this and commenting during the case, just as you would any other court case. And to be clear, I take this very seriously. I think that people that disagree with each other should talk to each other rather than yell at each other on social media. This is an opportunity for us to engage with each other on a live stream, people who disagree. Thank you, Nick at Echo Base Network.
True.
You provided me hours of entertainment, and I appreciate you. Is this all for today, sir?
Yes. And I should also remind everyone that we are on Rumble, and I want to thank for everyone who's been chatting there.
Okay, thank you for that. Court is dismissed. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Be ready for Critics Court next week, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Court will be in session. First arguments will be debated. Be prepared. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Court dismissed.
For things I want to show too. Oops. Got a couple other short things. Logo on music's now close enough to get the gist of what they're aiming for. All right, so there's that. And then let's watch this one. And then we'll call it a stream. Oh, they said this one. This is a. All right. Good deal.
According to independent lab tests, Husky liners with our ProGuard formula are 78%.
All right. There we have it. So I wanted to thank you all for joining me. Y'all have an awesome day. We will resume with the next one in the lineup, which is going to be the third video, Star Wars on Trial, Count 1, Fraudulent Misrepresentation. There are actually 60 videos in this playlist. My goodness. Oh, whoa. Excuse me. There's 60, but 5 of them are hidden for some reason. So, that's cool. They have the sketch artist showing. They have the sketch artist having serving as the. This is well done. They have the. Oh, I'm not sharing it. But if you were to look at the playlist, you'll see that the sketch artist artwork is accompanying the titles and the thumbnails. It looks really good. Well done and professional looking. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Y'all have an awesome one. We'll see you next time I do another WyzGyzEFAPS. Critics Court Star Wars by Film Threat, Episode 2. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye.